Welcome to Dock Talk. This is Billy and Hunter with the Lakefront Group, and we are going to discuss Lake Travis and Lake Austin and the difference between the two.
So first off, why are we comparing these two lakes? Well, they're the infamous Austin area lakes that everybody knows about, everybody hears about, but they don't typically, sometimes they get them confused.
Very much so.
Yeah, but they're completely different lakes.
Very much so.
So let's go with some of the differences.
Yeah, so Lake Austin is actually a constant level lake. One of the things Lake Austin is also known for is a little bit of a higher price tag. I mean, right now you're looking anywhere between 5 million. You've got some homes that are $35 million on Lake Austin, but they're like, I mean, they're huge. Like, it's where you want to be at.
Yeah, Elon Musk is out there, man.
Totally. I mean, I would be too if I was Elon.
Exactly. So
Lake Travis is not a constant level lake. It is actually a reservoir to help if there was ever flooding. And so you're actually gonna get, not constant level. Like this year, we're down a little bit, maybe a little more than a little bit, but it is further down than we'd like. But the great part about Travis is it is ridiculously deep. It's over 50 miles long. At some parts of Lake Travis,
60, I heard.
60.
When it's full. Yeah.
The cool part about it is even during some of these drier times, it can be over 190 feet deep.
Really? Like right now?
I mean, we were at 140 the other day at a not very deep part. So I would say there's still room to go.
Wow.
Which is great.
Which is why it's so popular for all sorts of different water sports that you can't do on Lake Austin. For instance, sailing, houseboats, big donzies, cigarette boats.
Oh yeah. And party boats everywhere.
Yeah.
I mean, we saw one the other day, it was like 50 feet long. It was massive. Yeah. You're not going to see that on Lake Austin or even LBJ.
You wouldn't want to. You couldn't turn around.
No.
So, yeah, but going back to Lake Austin, I mean, what makes it so popular? I mean,
it's so close to downtown. I mean, from the furthest part, like right below Mansfield Dam, I mean, you're 30, maybe 40 minutes from downtown.
Wow.
You've got a couple of restaurants that are actually on that lake, which is also really nice.
Oh yeah, ski shores.
Yeah, and Hula Hut.
Oh yeah,
I heard they have some pretty good drinks. But just a great place. I mean, again, you've got some amazing landscapes too. You got Pennybacker Bridge, which is kind of the iconic Austin Bridge.
Yeah.
And just really, really clear and cold water.
Colder upriver, which is actually where I like to go wakeboard. It's actually pretty good water when you go up there if you're interested in, slalom skiing, wakeboarding. Downriver, you're gonna see a lot of the wake surfers.
Yep.
But one of the cool things that they've done is like anybody building new retaining walls, it's kind of like a non-bounce back retaining wall, if that makes sense. A lot of times if you build a vertical wall, the waves hits it and bounces back. They want to, they're making people build new retaining walls that absorb those waves.
Oh, that's super cool.
So makes it a little bit more expensive to build a retaining wall, but when you can afford Lake Austin, it really doesn't matter.
No, just a couple bucks, right?
Exactly.
So at Lake Travis, really it's all natural. I mean, there really are no retaining walls anywhere. It's just where the water level's at. And then the other cool thing, I actually got to do it one the other day, is there are actually trams on Lake Travis. But it was so much fun to go up this thing. And it's just a fun experience. Not only do you get to be on the water, but you get to take a tram down to the water.
Some of the landscape of Lake Austin actually calls for some of those trams as well.
Okay.
Which is really cool. But that's one thing. Lake Austin, typically, the iconic Lake Austin house is, basically you have a 50 to 100 foot walk to your boat lift and flip a switch. Lake Austin's gonna be a little bit different story. Especially with the water level down, you're gonna have a wee bit of hike unless you have, that's why you mentioned the tram.
You gotta have the tram.
But also, one of the neat things is it allows for floating boathouses. In some of these boathouses, you've been in one here recently, that are just over the top.
Yes.
Which is really cool, and also because they're floating, it's a non-constant level lake. If you're in the right spot, you just keep moving it out as the water level goes down.
Yep. So, it had an AC. I mean, it had garage doors to hide your boat so it wasn't getting weathered. It had its own kitchen. I would live down there actually.
Yeah.
It'd be awesome.
It's like a houseboat / boathouse.
Yes, absolutely. Absolutely.
That's where I kind of classify that one.
Absolutely. So if you're interested in learning more about Lake Austin or Lake Travis, and if you want to be on the who's who, you're going to want to be on Lake Austin. If you know, you want a little more space, maybe a little more land in between you and your neighbors, might consider Lake Travis. But if you are interested, give us a shout.
We're here to help you define that perfect lake. So we're here to help. Look forward to hearing from you.
See you on the water.